Welcome to episode number 46 of the Between Two Brands podcast. I am your host. I'm your Thanksgiving host this week. I guess I'm your Thanksgiving host every week. It just happens to be Thanksgiving. So as this drops, it's Black Friday. So happy Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a great time. Now, before we get to the podcast, let's go ahead and pay the bills as we all need to do this time of year. Hey, distributors, it's time to wake up. Your clients are no longer satisfied with you merely acting as a middleman, slapping their logo on generic, predictable, and frankly uninspiring products. What they're demanding is something more. Merchandise that feels as if it were thoughtfully curated just for their unique brand. Now, to stand out, your clients need something truly exceptional, products that reflect their identity and set them apart from the crowd. This is where our friend Russ Mogel and his team at Seven Sourcing come in. With over 30 years of direct custom merchandise sourcing, they are the clear leaders in the space. Now, here's just a few reasons why you need to partner with Seven Sourcing when it comes to custom branded merchandise. One, they have established relationships with trusted and vetted factories. Two, they ensure all merchandise passes a rigorous quality control check by an accredited third-party partner. Three, they comply with and frequently exceed industry standards, manufacturing requirements, and product safety regulations. And fourth, maybe most important, they manage every part of the logistics and communicate through every step of the process. In other words, with their expertise, they know how to deliver custom, bespoke merchandise that will position you, Mr. or Mrs. Distributor, as the hero in the eyes of the client, while also steering clear of those common pitfalls that come with managing it on your own. Now, to be clear, yeah, it does take a little bit more time, usually between 75 and 90 days. It takes that time to design, develop, and deliver that unique and original merchandise. But isn't all that extra planning worth it to craft exceptional products that foster lasting loyalty? I don't just believe it. I'm certain of it. When you're ready to elevate yourself from just a promotional products distributor to a true partner who delivers exactly what the clients crave, unique custom branded merchandise designed specifically for them, reach out to Russ and his team at sales@sevensourcing.com. So as I'm recording this, it's the day before Thanksgiving. It's Wednesday. But for us, it's actually going to be our Thanksgiving Day. I mentioned this, I think, in a Facebook post, but or maybe it's my out of office message, I can't remember. But today's our Thanksgiving Day because both our kids are home, which is first time it's happened in over 9 months. So it's kind of fun. And Mitch brought his girlfriend home. But the reason we're having Thanksgiving today is Drew is heading back tomorrow to Mississippi to go to his final Egg Bowl game, which is Ole Miss versus Mississippi State, big rivalry game. And that's played Friday at about 11 o'clock. So he wants to get there well enough time to enjoy kind of that final experience as a student. Mitch is here with his girlfriend, got here yesterday, and he's staying with her through, I think, Saturday or Sunday. It's always fluid. But today is the day we decided that we'd have Thanksgiving, so nothing felt rushed. So I'm kind of excited about that. And of course, during this time of year, it is Thanksgiving. So I started to think about things I'm grateful for, but I wanted to really focus it on the business side of things. So I'm going to share a few things that I'm grateful for as a solopreneur. I wrote a blog about giving myself gratitude earlier this week. I think we all stink at that. This is something I'm just more in general thankful for. And there's four things. Number one, as a solopreneur, I am absolutely profoundly thankful for the personal and professional freedom it allows me. I can work from anywhere. I work a lot of times from home, but I do have an office now just 4 miles down the road, and it's fantastic. I was there all day yesterday. I get to control my schedule. I like that quite a bit. I get to combine passion and purpose. It makes all the challenges that I face as a solopreneur worthwhile because it's something I've built, and that maybe is the most important thing. Brandivate is something that didn't exist. I was able to create something from nothing, and uh, I've done it with a business partner, like with Promocations, with Josh Robbins. That is something, for whatever reason, absolutely fuels me. I love creating something from nothing that didn't exist before. So that personal and professional freedom, I'm really thankful for that. Number two, growth and resilience. There's so many opportunities for learning. I learn every day. I make it intentional, but many times it's unintentional, and that's fine. I just keep my mind open to learning. And I'm so profoundly thankful that I do that because it's allowed me to grow from my mistakes. And I've made plenty, and I've had to become resilient to provide for my family, to grow Brandivate to where it does provide for me and my family. And I'm proud of that, but that growth and resilience, I'm really thankful for. I'm really thankful for the tools and systems that make what I do possible. Automation has been a game changer for me. It takes the mundane, monotonous, but time vampire sucking tasks. When I can automate them, it gives me the time to do the creative work, which is really where I can make a difference for clients. And I absolutely love that. The internet technology, all the digital tools that enable me to connect with clients, whether it's Zoom or any other different ways, it allows me to run the business. About 2 years ago, I've mentioned this on a podcast before, but I invested in an agency software. It's not cheap, but it allows me to manage every aspect of each client's marketing campaign. And it's been an enormous game changer for me. And again, freed up time. It makes what I do possible. And last, man, I'm sure all of us would agree with this one. I am so thankful for the community and the connections I have. Number one, family. This family went all in on my dream for Brandivate. There was not a hesitation. There was always support, always a listening ear. Um, I can't, I could get real emotional if I talked about that, but my family went all in on this. Client relationships, it is so rewarding for me when a client tells me, hey, we just got a huge order based on some of the work you did, or hey, we rekindled a client connection based on that email that was sent. For me to help a client achieve their goals, there is no better high on the planet, not one. And finally, the network we have in this industry, mentors, and I've had plenty. I still have plenty, and I'm not going to name them because I'll inevitably leave somebody out. And so I guarantee you, those who know who I'm talking about. Collaborators, and an industry that's absolutely embraced me and accepted me for me and my unique weirdness, my whatever it is. So those are the things that from a business perspective, I'm really thankful for. And I would encourage you to maybe take a minute and think about what you are grateful for your business. Before we get to our guest, let's go ahead and pay one more bill, shall we? Hey, many people know how to build a business, but few understand not only when to sell that business, but the process involved to make sure that you find the right partner and maximize the return on your investment. Now, honestly, this is where you need an expert, especially a promotional products expert, industry expert. And this is where our friends over at Certified Marketing Consultants come in. Jamie Watson and her team have decades of experience facilitating private company sales in the branded merchandise space. Now, to help you evaluate if it's time to sell your business, reach out to CMC confidentially, of course, at info@certifiedmarketing.com, and they'll help guide you. All right, before we get to our guest, we're going to do something a little different today. I think you'll recognize the next song I'm going to play. I don't play songs here very much, but this will give you an idea who our guest is. I know there's a favorite song of one Alex Moltz from Shapenko. Here we go. Oh, that theme music, written by the one and only Jason Oakes, means one thing and one thing only. Our guest today, he's been in the industry for decades, but you likely know him best as one of the following: the good doctor, the major domo of merch, the patron saint of promo, the brigadier general of brands, the sergeant of swag, Jade's Hasseman's father, the original good time player man. To me, simply Kirby. Please join me in welcoming my former podcasting partner for this, let's call it a promo upfront reunion, Kirby Hasseman. Kirby, how the hell are you?
Man, I am doing great. Doing great. It's always good to see you and get catch up with you, but also just kind of fun to fall back into the rhythm a little bit, and we'll have some fun with this, buddy. How are you?
Absolutely. You're doing great. That theme song always brings back memories. I don't know if you hear it from I hear from some people that they love that theme
Oh,
song. Not that they don't love the songs of our current podcast, but
of
that
course.
one for Promo Upfront seems to really resonate.
Oh, Jason's so damn talented. It's unbelievable. So it's
He
so
is.
cool.
He's strikingly handsome as well.
Yeah, of course.
So we are breaking format for Between Two Brands. We're going right back to promo up front, people. So I have no idea what the hell Kirby's going to talk about. He has no idea what I'm going to talk about. Kirby, would you like to start us off today?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So in your at Brandivate, one of the things I know about you
Yes.
is obviously you are helping people with their marketing, but in some cases you're almost the marketing department for folks, right?
Right.
So and you're certainly guiding that even when you are an ancillary person in the project. So this time of year, I'm curious
Yeah.
because this is something that I'm actually kind of doing right now. Do you meet with those clients to go over 2026 goals or like what you're visioning, or did they call that meeting? If you do, what are you talking about? When do you do it? I know it's a big, broad question,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of, how do I do this better? You know what I mean?
So for every client, it's different. It's a good question, by the way. So for every client, it's different. Some clients, it's kind of an ongoing thing as marketing campaigns have a life cycle.
Yeah.
Sometimes it still bleeds into the next year because there's still things that need to be communicated.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is okay, we're finishing 2025. What does 2026 to look like? Generally, I'm going to guide that conversation, and
Yeah.
it's usually the first week of November. I'll lay out my for those who where there's a hard stop. Some it's just like keep doing what we're doing. And
Yes.
since there is ongoing communication, it's not like okay, first week of December, I got to hit up every client. What do we do? Uh, but I feel like they're hiring me to think for them
Yeah.
in many respects. And so I like to have, I try to have a fingertip on the pulse of every client, what they want, what they're wanting to do, where they're wanting to go, how they're wanting to grow and evolve. And so I'll drive that conversation as necessary, but I do it throughout the year.
Hmm.
I'll say something like, this feels like it's run its course. I'm thinking we go in a different direction. Or I might say, look, I think we've got something here. And so a great example of that is Bell Promo. We've been doing a campaign of, yeah, you can Bell Promo that for almost a year and a half now.
Hmm.
And I still think there's so much more to explore there because
Hmm.
what we do in that is we ask a question, and the answer is yeah, you can Bell Promo that, and I love that campaign. And so we'll probably continue that through the first part of the coming year. Then there's clients it's like, okay, new year, let's rethink things, even though it may be the same message. How are we communicating it differently? So to me, it's always just being aware. I think you would agree. If something starts to feel stale, you need to rethink it.
Hmm. Yeah, this is apropos because I'm literally having this conversation with a client that we're doing a big piece of their marketing for them. And they said, "Hey, let's have a whole offsite. We're booking a
Hmm.
house from 9 to 5." And I was just like, and again, I want to do, but I sent them an agenda today and said, we can do this in like an hour or two.
Yeah.
And now, again, if they want to go longer, I'll try and help. I don't know what we're going to talk about for 8 hours, but I will say
Well,
that
it's
part of our message is what we're doing is working. Let's not chase every trend. Let's keep doing what we're doing. Yeah.
well, and it sounds like, and again, I don't know your client, I don't know anything about
Yeah.
this. It sounds like they want to be part of the process. They want to
Yeah.
be part of the whole process, which is admirable, but it's one of those things that's okay. I get that this is a big deal for you, and it's a big deal for us to work with you on this behalf, but we have a lot to do here. And again, I think you're right. You get in a meeting like that, it can be. We've got 15 different campaigns walking out of there as opposed to one or
Yeah.
two unified themes and campaigns and how we're going to communicate it. So that's a challenge. I'm glad you came up with an agenda and said maybe we have a late morning and bleed into lunch type meeting.
Yeah. Well, what it does is it creates marketing on demand, right? Like it's like
Yeah.
all of a sudden everybody's got a little project and they've got a little pet idea, and it's like then you don't
Yes.
get anything done toward the larger goal. So I was just curious to see how you
Yeah.
handled it.
No, I love it. And you and I have said it before, ideas are cheap, execution is expensive.
Right.
And so there you go. Okay, hey, you're a distributor, I believe.
I am. I
New
am.
data from ASI Research show distributor sales in the promotional products industry rose 5% in the third quarter of this year versus the third quarter of last year, which by my
Mhm.
watch is 2024. That marked the strongest quarterly growth over in 2 years and over 2 years and signaled what they said is a potential recovery after a sluggish start to 2025. I want to know if that's your experience and how
Mm.
that number uh, relates to what you're doing at Hasseman Marketing.
Love that. So yeah, so it absolutely, we probably, I think you know this, but I keep 2024, 2025 month over month, literally numbers right there. So I'm watching it right. So when you said that, I just looked over and I was like, yeah, yeah, that
Good.
tracks. I would say that we're probably up a little bit more than that, just at a glance. We're probably closer to 10% in the third quarter. That
Mhm.
being said, our fourth quarters look sluggish. So it makes me wonder if I pulled some sales forward, and if that uncertainty is catching up to us a little bit right now. I mean, it's not terrible, but that's been my experience so far.
Percentage wise, if you don't mind me asking, you can tell me to go pound sand. What
Hmm.
does your year to year look like? I mean, you can end up 2025 percentage wise up, down, same from
Yeah, no, we're
2024.
going to
You
be
can
up.
forecast that.
Yeah, we're going to be up probably because the fourth quarter's a little sluggish. It'll be a little
Yeah.
less. I was thinking 10 to 12%. Um,
Okay. Or you
at
were
the
thinking
end of
now
the
what,
fourth
seven to
quarter, we
eight?
were at 14%. At the end
Okay.
of the third quarter, we were at 14%. My guess is, yeah, we'll be at the 8% up
Okay.
mark.
Which is great.
Yeah.
What I think here's what I keep thinking. The one thing we have all spoken about since the 4 months prior to the presidential election last year is what Wall Street hates, what investors hate, what business owners hate is uncertainty.
Uncertainty. Yeah.
And we have had in my lifetime the most sustained time of uncertainty, and it still is uncertain. And I'm wondering, and I have this is kind of a theory.
Okay.
I have zero data to back this up. So
Okay,
it's
cool.
like
It's my
it's
favorite
basically
kind.
like absolutely, it's like every other theory that's put out there on the news. My theory is I think people are very much of F this. I am tired of just treading water, waiting for certainty. I'm going to make my own certainty
Yeah.
to an extent. Is that a broad thing? No, but I do think I think for the first time I've ever seen people are saying, I'm not going to wait for the world to decide what I do. I'm
Mhm.
actually going to decide what I
Yeah.
do. Because I don't think the economy is great, but I don't think it's as terrible as everybody thinks it is. I just think people are tired of waiting for someone to tell them, okay, it's okay to buy again.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it's funny. So literally the conversation this morning on our morning call was, okay, based on what I'm seeing, they might not, we literally said, okay, let's start creating good, better, best items because we find that people are buying good and better, not as much
Hmm.
best. Right? Like
Right.
so yesterday somebody reached out to Dustin in my office and said, "Hey, I want a Stanley tumbler." And
Hmm.
of course I need it by December 8th or whatever it is. And it's
Right.
like, "Okay, here you go. Here's a couple options that will work. Oh, do you have anything less expensive?"
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's the thing is trying to walk that line of going, we can still do it, we can still meet the timeline, but we need to find some budget things. I think you're
Yeah.
seeing that in retail, and so I think
Hmm.
that's a trend that probably makes
Well,
sense in our industry as well.
and I know you, and you're smart enough to when you present a good, better, best, you don't really want them to buy the good, and you don't really
Mhm.
want them to buy the best. Buy the better. It's a better
Mhm.
profit margin for you and better for
Yeah.
value for them. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got, Kirby?
Okay, so one of the things this is actually I'm loving this conversation because these are things I've been wanting to ask you anyway. So
Okay.
so you know a lot about my business, and you know that historically speaking, for 21 years now, we've been a generalist when it comes to
Hmm.
marketing. We work
Hmm.
with everybody. We work with
Hmm.
manufacturing, retail, finance,
Yeah.
healthcare, the whole nine yards. And everyone will tell you, hey, you should really have an expertise or a niche. Not everybody, but that's a
It's a
foregone,
prevailing
yeah,
thought, I
yeah,
think, these
prevailing thought,
days.
yeah.
And in yeah,
And so I did a whole analysis of our business and looked at the last 4 years and said these are the industries that we do the most in. And so I'm leaning
okay,
into trying to do a better job of niching down. Um,
okay,
so and obviously you have a great niche
mhm,
in the sense that you have this industry specifically.
yeah,
How how is it? Because I think you and I are similar in the idea that like when you see an interesting challenge, you want to do it.
yeah.
How do you keep yourself from chasing um, challenges that will take you outside of your space?
Okay, great question. I know where my expertise lies, so I have a little bit of an advantage here. I have a
Mhm.
very, do I do marketing outside the promotional products industry in terms of do I help people with their marketing? I do. It's a small portion of my business, and it's more of a, if it comes along, sure, why not? I mean,
Yeah, sure.
as long as the check's cash and the work's interesting, and sure, that's great. Because I was this brand of it was born into a niche. It was
Hmm.
created because of a niche. It's easy for me to really understand where I do well. Now, that being said, I have made some missteps along the way. I know that shocks you people. I know, Kirby, you are stunned. But I've made some mistakes along the way. One of them, for example, I think a lot of people know I do promotions with our mutual good friend Josh Robbins, and one of the things that we wanted to do is have a really interactive interface during the event. So I learned how to build an app, and
Hmm.
I'm proud of that. I had a couple of people or some distributor asked me to build an app for them, and I'm like, well, sure, I built one for promotions. Why, I am now an app builder. I am I will tell you, I am not an app builder. It took me because the changing things and I'm not technical. I have to learn things. So every time you get out of that headspace, if I want to jump back into app building, it is like an hour and a half before I'm like, okay, I'm starting to hum now. I'm starting to think
Yeah.
analytically in the way you need to. I'm almost embarrassed to say it took me 14 months to get it published. That's a lot.
Mm. Yeah.
And not all of my delays, it was some of the clients as well, but it shouldn't have taken that long, but it did. So that is not one of my core niches. So
Hmm.
I will no longer be building apps. Let me be very clear on that. So some of it's just the way my business works, and I know what I'm good at. And I think even without you looking at the industries you serve, you know what industries you do more in. I think a better focus is instead of industries, what types of clients do I work best with?
Hmm.
Where is it? Is it the type of client that wants us to pitch ideas, that those are the ones that are really receptive, or the ones that like us really thinking for them? Or are we doing better with people who just, I've got a need, you guys fill it fast. And then you can almost work with the type of people you want, because then the industry doesn't matter as much.
Right. Yeah. No. And I think that both of those things for us, again, having spent the last month thinking about this, I think both of those things can be true. And
Mhm.
what I've dialed in is there is a that our top three, and one of them is like, oh, it's one client. It's
Yeah.
like, because that particular client is our largest overall client. It's like, well, that doesn't mean we're great in that industry. It just means we're great with that one client, right?
Right.
Yeah, and
Right.
so yeah, I feel you on that. That being said, what I have found is some overlap where it's like, oh, because branded merch is one thing we do, and it's the biggest thing we do, but the digital
Right.
marketing side we do as well. And so we are looking for that where we can combine those two because that's where it seems like it is a magic
And I
sauce for
think
us.
then you start looking. So if that's what you're looking for, things where you can be, where Hasseman Marketing is that we are now for this, initiative, we are a boutique branding and marketing agency
Yeah.
where we do the digital marketing, we do, campaign development, campaign execution, and we also do branded merchandise as a cohesive part of that whole unit, which is what I think you're saying.
Yep.
I would think you're perfectly positioned where you are. one of the things, one of the advantages in my mind you have, I joke, and I should have put this on one of the intros, the king of Coshocton. I make that joke all the time. Um, but there's a beauty to that because are in a very confined community. You
Hmm.
can be the marketing agency of record for
Sure.
that area. Now, the challenge is it's a finite area. How do I expand? How do I move into Gahana? How about that? Or how do I move into Columbus? How do I move more into Cleveland? How do I go into Pennsylvania on the other side? How do I do that? If I were you, I'd be like, you know what? I think we can leverage the small town. We understand the
Mhm.
challenge small businesses have in rural communities or not so densely populated areas.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. Cool, man.
All right.
Well, that's it. There you go.
Um, all right, Kirby, I'm here to learn you something. That's what I'm going to
Okay.
do.
Okay.
Good Lord, my camera's going bananas today. Uh, so I'm here to teach you something. I'm going to give you 4 holiday seasonal marketing tactics to avoid as you are being bombarded with all
Mm.
sorts of advertising and Black Friday and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Number one, false urgency.
Mm.
You got to buy it now, got to get it now. I think companies are becoming very sophisticated, especially online. There's
Mm.
countdown clocks and hey, only 16 left and all that stuff. And I want to, and so when I want you, do you find yourself like looking at this? Oh shit, I got to get this now. If I'm thinking about it now, I got to get it now. Do you ever feel
Ye-
that?
Oh, sure. I think I'm a human. So I think
I
but I
don't
think
know
on the
about
other
that.
side, I will say that it has both effects on me because if I really want it,
Yeah,
it just becomes a justification that I like, so that I can tell Amy later that I needed to because they
yeah,
were about out. It can also have the opposite effect on me because it'll
yeah.
piss me off, and then I'll be like, no, well, screw it then. If I can't have it, I can't have it. I don't know, whatever. So,
So what I've actually started doing is asking myself, just take a breath. Is there an actual urgency here? Do I really need this? So
yeah.
I think for me, it's actually done the opposite. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, I don't, I don't need to buy this today. I don't need
Yeah.
to buy this right now. All
Yeah.
right, number
No,
two, pricing. And there's always sort of discount pricing,
yeah.
which I think is so bullshitted up this time of
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Um, do you agree with that? Like,
Oh,
I
for
feel
days.
so especially like Black Friday. There's two
Yeah.
things that happen on Black Friday. One, really inferior merchandise at 40% off. It has the same name, it looks the same, but the guts are very different. I'm thinking electronics, things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Number two, usually if you look at pricing trends, and I'm a dork, so I will do this at times, you will see, especially like right before Amazon Prime Day, Black Friday, cost of goods go up by about
Oh,
30 to 40%.
totally. Totally.
And then magically, they just drop
It's
on Black
crazy.
Friday or Amazon Prime Day. It's crazy, go nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you 100% on that. It's one of the things where, um, yeah, I'm not a big Black Friday shopper, which is probably to the surprise of absolutely nobody. That being said,
Hmm.
I will say that if I know I'm buying something, like, and I'll
Hmm.
give you an example. So we're hiring a new employee, and so I knew I was getting a laptop. I knew I was getting,
Yeah.
some monitors for them. I was like, okay, let's wait until this week to see if there are any crazy deals. Um,
Hmm.
we'd already figured out what computer we're going to buy. We knew exactly leading
Yeah.
into it. And we got to this week and we're like, okay, same price. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
leading into it intentionally that way and going, I already know what it's going to be. If I can play the game a little bit, then I'll play it.
Yeah. Uh, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. But people, there are no such thing as discounts anymore. There's just not. There's not. Kind of, for
Yeah.
the most part.
Yeah. I mean, it
Figure that.
depends, but yeah.
Why don't you guys
Okay.
figure that out? All right, Kirby, you ever feel like your emotions are played on this time of year? Tugging at your heartstrings a little bit?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think, and I'm a wimp when it comes to this too. So, like,
Oh, I know.
so
This is why you
yeah,
buy Budweiser by the case when you see those Clydesdale horses in the snow.
yeah,
It tugs at your emotional heartstrings.
Yeah, that's why I avoid those Hallmark movies because it's not because the plots are terrible. It's that it gets me right here.
I avoid the Hallmark movies because generally I get intimidated by Hot Santa.
Yeah, good point. Who's also a lumberjack.
Yeah. Chris Kringle here. I understand you got a candy cane that needs to be licked. All right.
Yeah. All
Uh,
right.
so when you feel your emotions being tugged on, um, I always say my suggestion is pause for a second. Try to
Yeah.
get yourself out of the moment.
Yeah,
Last
for
one,
sure.
timing, 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 timing. They try to create. It's Black Friday. You're gonna get these great
Yeah.
deals. It's Cyber Monday and all these things.
Yeah.
I think you need to be strategic for that stuff. If you
Yeah.
really want a decent deal, and here's where discounts in my mind happen, you can be very strategic, especially TVs. When they kill an old model, that's when to buy the older model when they, get one of
Yeah.
the last models. Great, here's one. I'm pretty sure we're going to put our Christmas tree up tomorrow, most likely. I'm pretty sure we're going to need a new Christmas tree. It's fake, but it has a bunch of lights on it and it plugs all together. And it's great, but it started to flicker last year, and I have a feeling it's not going to turn on this year. We will probably fight through that tree this year, and I'll wait till after Christmas and buy a new one because they got
Right.
to get rid of that inventory.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
Yeah.
that,
It makes total sense. And again, it was kind of the
yeah,
point of the concept of if you at least understand the cycles of what inventory looks like and how, the
yeah,
year end works and all that sort of thing, then you can play those discount games. But the
yeah,
standard, hey, you get this on a Tuesday, which you could have bought at any time, and they have the countdown clock and all that stuff. That's when you can get
yeah,
manipulated for sure.
absolutely. All right, Kirby, I don't have anything else. Do you?
I got that's all I
All
got,
right.
buddy. Other than I'm
All
thankful
right.
that
So
you had me on here.
hold on. I just got an email. What is this? I'm sorry. I
Okay.
never do this. Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. I just got an email. I have a rapid fire Thanksgiving weekend edition. Kirby, are you willing to
Okay.
play?
Of course. Of course. That sounds good. I
It's
was
been
going
a
to be
while.
surprised if you didn't. I was going to be surprised.
It's been a while. Let me remind you of the rules, shall we?
Yeah.
There are no wrong answers. This is just about things that happen during Thanksgiving, and I want to learn more about how Hasseman does Thanksgiving. Okay.
Okay.
So let's start off with a very easy one. Again, no wrong answers. Watching the parade or watching football?
Oh, football all day.
See, look, again, it's like riding a bicycle. You get right back on. As the kids would say, you're crushing it, yo. All right. Um, dress up or comfy clothes on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I think we generally go comfy clothes
Okay.
unless
I agree.
unless there's like
I
a
agree.
photo op opportunity. Yeah.
Sure. Give thanks or receive thanks?
I think I give thanks. I'm pretty grateful
Okay.
during this holiday. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, stay at home or travel?
I'm doing both this year, actually. Going
Okay.
to my in-laws for lunch and then inviting the Hossman side over for dinner.
Okay, but that's 4 or 5. How many miles is that?
So not traveling much.
Gotcha. No, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
But
yeah,
you're doing dual, so there is travel
yeah,
involved. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
crapping on your thing. Okay,
yeah. No,
so
it's fine.
travel for you. Okay.
But I'm not going to be at an
Uh
airport if that's what you,
that yeah.
yeah.
Cook dinner or wash dishes?
I watch football.
Nope.
Yeah,
That wrong.
I knew that'd be wrong. I'll be helping with cooking the dinner this year.
Okay. All right. Now you're having two Thanksgivings, so this might not apply, but let's imagine back in the days when you had one lunchtime meal or a dinner time Thanksgiving meal.
I like a dinner time meal.
Okay. All right. Turkey or ham?
I like turkey.
Good. Again, Kirby, you're doing pretty well.
Okay.
Turkey, oven roasted, smoked, or fried?
Oh, oven roasted.
Absolutely wrong. Could not be more wrong about this. It's terrible. That is a terrible way to cook a giant uncommon yard bird. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
How do you do
Smoked is
it?
the preferred way. Smoked.
Okay.
I will
Okay.
smoke it. I will inject it with Cajun butter, and I will smoke that bad boy over hickory for about a good 5, 6 hours, and it's going to be delicious. Um, dressing or stuffing?
Neither. I
I don't even know
don't.
why I try. I don't even know why I try. I don't even know why I
They're
tried.
they're both gross. Neither for
No,
me.
they're no dressing. No, dressing's gross. Got to stuff the bird with stuffing. Now, because we smoke it, we don't do that. But I miss the days where
Oh,
we did stuffing. But
so
it's
you don't do it.
fantastic. I do. I have dressing stuffing. Pumpkin spice latte or apple cider?
Apple cider.
All right. Last one. Nap or walk after the meal?
That's a good one. This is
Good
all
one.
assuming that it's lunchtime, probably more. So
No, it's assuming you have a meal, and then there's what's generally called after the meal. So after the meal, are you going to nap or are you going to walk?
I'll
Or neither?
probably, yeah, I would probably nap if I'm going, on that Thanksgiving. That's kind of
Yeah.
the tradition.
All right. I love it. One last thing. Let's do some college football rivalry picks, just very quick, seriously.
Okay,
Egg
okay.
Bowl, number six, Ole Miss at Mississippi State. Who do you got?
Ole Miss.
Mississippi State. I think Lane Kiffin's team's distracted. He's going to LSU anyway. The Battle of Georgia. Number four, Georgia Tech goes into Atlanta to play the number 16, the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech.
So Georgia Tech's playing who?
Georgia.
Georgia. Oh,
Bulldogs.
well then I'll take Georgia all day. Yeah.
I think Georgia wins too.
Yep.
The game, which is the dumbest name of a game ever, the number one fraudulent Ohio State Buckeyes, or they're visiting Ann Arbor, the 18th ranked Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, we're we both know who I'm picking in that game. So
I think
I'll be watching that the second
I
half
believe
anyway.
Ohio State. I believe Ohio State won, but they have played nobody this year, so it'll be an interesting game. Number 14 Vanderbilt at number 20 Tennessee in Knoxville.
Boy, that's a good one. I think I'm rooting for Vandy just because they're not usually in this conversation, and I love that
Mhm.
they've kind of risen up.
I'm as much as it pains me, I'm going to pull for Tennessee in this one. I wish nothing but failure on Diego Pavia because he's played college football for 17 years now, and I'm tired of him and his
Okay.
family. Iron Bowl, Kirby. Number 10, Alabama goes into Auburn to play said Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, I think Alabama will probably roll this one.
I think Auburn Tigers are going to come off with the upset. And the most important game of the weekend, it is Friday night. I don't know what the hell they're calling it, the Lone Star Shootout, whatever it is, the Battle for Texas. The 17th ranked Longhorns from Texas University, small initials there, are hosting the best team in the nation, the number three, fighting Texas Army Aggies. Who do you got?
So it's funny, I was talking about this game the other day with the team here, and I said that the one team that has a complaint, right, about where they're ranked is Texas A&M, based on their
Mm-hmm.
resume and
Yeah.
all that.
Very little
They
respect, but they've in people's defense, they've disappointed people for years.
they've got a hell of they've put together a hell of a season. So
Yeah.
to be honest, I'd really like them to see them finish it. Also, my friends root for A&M, and I'm one of those people that roots for the team that my friends roots for. So I'm going to go
Yeah.
A&M.
I, I forgive all the screw ups you did during rapid fire because I will tell you this game, I am not people who have my personal cell number, I am not to be disturbed from 5:30 in the afternoon on Friday until 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. if the A&M Aggies win, or until Monday if for some reason we run out of time and get outscored.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the Aggies pull it off. It's going to be a tough game. I think Texas is very fraudulent. It is not, and that's not a biased comment. My friends and I joke that Arch Manning seems to be ungood at football. His throwing motion is weird, and I think Steve Sarkisian is very overrated. So I say the Aggies win in a squeaker, 35-2. All right, Kirby. Before I say goodbye, I want to big thanks to our pals over at Seven Sourcing for sponsoring this fine broadcast. Whether you're ready, when you're ready for when you let's try that again. When you're
Yeah.
ready to be the partner your clients want, the one that delivers unique, custom, bespoke branded merchandise designed exclusively for them, reach out to Russ Mogel and his team at sales@sevensourcing.com. Kirby, I think we figured out the reason why our podcast was canceled last year. Joking aside, it was fun. It
Yeah.
was
That was
fun. This
good.
was a good time. We will do this again at a time of our mutual choosing.
Sounds good, buddy. It's great to see you.
Happy Thanksgiving.